Welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Report. I'm your host, Chris Berg, head of business development for Abernathy Holdings. We build Class A self-storage sites in California, Arizona, and beyond. One of those sites we're going to be building is in the beautiful city of Fresno. And so I'm excited to introduce you to our guest today. He is the president and CEO of the Fresno EDC, Will Oliver. Will, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, you and I have had a couple of really, really good conversations. One of those was about some grand farm things that are happening back in North Dakota. Many people may or may not be aware, but at least I wasn't initially, and maybe that's probably why I love the Fresno community so much. But it's dubbed, the ag capital of the world. One of the things I want to talk about with you today is that other people may not be aware that Costco is about to put, assuming it gets passed, but about to put the biggest Costco on the planet in Fresno, which I think is a huge testament to your community. So if you want to just give us some of your background, let's jump into all the exciting things happening in your area.
Sounds great. Thank you, Chris. Will Oliver, President and CEO of the Fresno County Economic Development Corporation. We are a 501(c) nonprofit launched to help recruit new industry and investment to the region, as well as support our local employment base. I'm a lifelong resident of the Central Valley. I grew up in the city of Madera, which is a town just north of here in Fresno. Attended Madera Public Schools, served in local public office, and was able to obtain my bachelor's degree at Fresno State University in business, and I obtained my master's degree abroad in business and entrepreneurship. At the Economic Development Corporation, I really have one of the best jobs that's possible, in that I'm able to market and promote our region to prospective companies and clients such as yourself. But we also have a pretty broad canvas to paint from, and economic developers really serve at a very interesting vantage point to help diversify our economy, to breed innovation in the community development space, and really have a front seat to our growth prospects as a county, and also be in a position to impact and touch a lot of lives, which has certainly, I think, driven my career and the work that I've been able to do here at the Fresno County EDC. We work with all of the 15 cities here in the county. The county of Fresno spans 6,000 square miles, has a population just over 1 million people, and we help provide economic development services to each of our partner cities that range in size and scope. Every single city is unique and very important and has a lot to offer, and we could not do that work without those partnerships. We have a 40-member board of directors that represents a wide variety of industry and civic life here in Fresno, with public and private sector participation to help drive the strategy and vision of our organization. So excited to talk more about what we have going on here in the county of Fresno and the Central Valley at large, and some of the amazing work that's underway.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to pitch people on, hey, this is why you want to bring your industry into the Fresno County, Fresno community. So I think the most basic area to start is obviously, as I mentioned, the biggest Costco on the planet. I think that's kind of hard for people to even fathom, but the biggest Costco on the planet, going to be right there on Fresno, just off the 99. Tell us what you expect to see there. Why did Costco choose Fresno? What's happening?
I think several reasons. One, Fresno is a great market to try out a lot of new service offerings that Costco is going to be providing to the community. In addition to just goods and groceries and products, you're going to see a lot of social services. You're going to see healthcare being deployed at this Costco once approved and built. So for Fresno being the largest city seat here in the Central Valley, we're the 5th largest city in California, over 500,000 people in population in the city alone. When you take in the surrounding communities in Madera County and down the 99, that's a population shed of well over 1 million people. So I think it makes complete sense, both from a demographic standpoint, being able to try out different service offerings, and I'm sure they'll learn from this success and be able to take that to other communities. one other point too is, while I don't know that they will be participating on this project, one of the primary builders of Costco facilities around the world is located here in the Central Valley, just north in Madera. So there's a lot of synergy, and I think it's a compliment that our region has to offer for Costco, and we're really excited to see its success.
Yeah, give us some idea of how big this is going to be. You mentioned healthcare is going to be one of the services. What else is going to make this place unique?
Yeah, so you're going to have your traditional Costco services. It's going to be over 240,000 square feet. It's going to have a full service auto center from over 30 fuel pumps, detached gas station, nearly 900 parking stalls. It's going to provide services such as hearing and pharmaceutical, as well as food service prep and sales. So it's going to be a very dynamic Costco. I think it's going to benefit the region significantly. And as I mentioned, you're going to see kind of a cross section of both services and goods that Valley residents will be able to uh, um, partake in. So it's exciting to see. It has not been formally approved just yet. It will go before the Fresno City Council for approval, but it did receive a unanimous vote at the Planning Commission. So we'll wait and see.
I want to give you a chance to talk about. You said 1 million square feet of industrial has just been approved as well in the area. So if you want to speak to that, but also, I mean, there's such exciting things happening within the community. I want to give you a chance to speak to what are some of your needs. Like if you had a chance to pitch businesses right now, and you said, "Hey, these are businesses or ideas or things that we need within our community," what would those things be?
Sure. I think Fresno is ripe for investment. It's ripe for diversification, no pun, in terms of our robust agricultural sector. What we're really prioritizing is, advanced manufacturing. This is a sector that has tremendous spillover in our economy. It's also a sector that falls just behind agriculture in terms of our gross domestic product, produces about $4.5 billion a year in GDP. It's also a sector that has had robust and steady growth. It's outpaced the growth of California and the nation. We have a lot of a strong foundation to work from, both in terms of our educational institutions who have very robust CTE programs, a lot of unprecedented funding, which we can discuss later, to prepare workers for these blue collar careers. So, manufacturing, ag tech manufacturing is one of those that we're seeing huge growth in and that we're also prioritizing. I think for us, it's also not just focused on recruiting companies to the area, it's also recruiting capital. It's having a wider blend of capital products, from mezzanine debt to private equity to VC, that can meet our founders and our entrepreneurs and businesses needs. And so that's been an effort of our organization as well as the region as well. But you mentioned our recent industrial development project. This was a big win for Fresno. Last week, the Fresno City Council approved nearly 1 million square feet in a national speculative project here in Fresno, located off of Highway 180, a primary corridor for the county. And for us, this could not come at a better time. Our industrial vacancy rate has sat at or below 2%. So we've longed for a new product. We've had to turn away some projects in the past because of the lack of availability. So Skinnell Properties project here in Fresno is absolutely opportune, and I think will be very attractive to folks in the manufacturing space as well as logistics and transportation, among others. So a big development, a big project, I think shows our market's investment worthiness, and I think you'll find that part filled up pretty quickly, and we hope that it will beget additional investment and growth in that particular sector. So very exciting news for us.
You mentioned a lot of, it sounds like state money to invest in the community, but also you talked about private equity, VC. I was recently speaking to a commercial real estate person in the community there. And as you know, we do self storage. And he says, Chris, how fast can you guys open up? I mean, I've got so many people moving in here from the Bay Area. They sold their homes for several $1,000,000. Now they can obviously buy much more, either a bigger home or for a lot less in that community. He's like, they need self-storage. So what kind of migration are you seeing from the Bay, and what kind of industry as well?
Yeah, so we've definitely, you know, seen, a large migration from communities like the Bay Area, from Southern California. COVID-19 certainly accelerated that with the prominence of remote work. If you talk to the new home construction that's occurring throughout the valley, a large number of buyers, many of which are new home buyers, are locating from other areas. It's I think it signals Fresno's attractiveness. This is a great place to raise a family. Yosemite National Park is right in our backyard. Driving to work 20 miles equals 20 minutes, and so with some pretty phenomenal schools and amazing things to do and incredible food scene. So all those are really great reasons why families are choosing to live in Fresno and able to afford a home. Equally as important too is making sure that we have new building stock and new construction that will satisfy our existing residents and folks that are multi-generation here in the valley. And that's a focus of ours, making sure that people can access good paying jobs, that have the training resources to get ahead. And but yeah, so there's we're seeing a large growth in terms of those relocations. More and more discussions with industrial users, office users that are interested in moving from the more expensive metropolitan areas. We've worked with several clients, especially manufacturing clients, that often wish to own their building. They've looked to this area to get out of the rising lease costs in Southern California to be able to acquire real estate here. So I think we'll continue to see that. For us, it's making sure that we put our foot on the scale for the businesses and industries that are going to pay good wages, and provide economic diversification and growth. There's obviously a lot of reasons why Fresno is a great place to plant a company flag and raise a family, and we're very fortunate to be able to reside here and advocate for the region.
So you born and raised in the community, been there your whole life. Sounds like you went to school maybe overseas for a short amount of time for a graduate degree. But what's the most important thing you think people should know about your community but don't? Like the biggest secret?
Yeah, I would say that there is a genuine sense of urgency for positive growth and progress, and it is palpable. And you will find that most folks that are working in the economic and community development space will really go out of their way to make sure that Fresno is positioned for new investment and growth, and will also help, provide the on ramps to both companies and investors to find those opportunities and find success when locating investment in our region. And I think that's the mentality of our community. We're very much a yes if and not a no because mentality, and that's unique for not just the city of Fresno but throughout the county. We have amazing communities with incredible tapestry and history, and really a lot to offer. So I think there's a palpable sense though of wanting to see change, wanting to see inclusive growth, wanting to see an economy that's on the verge and it's diversifying while also building upon our rich assets and our agricultural heritage. So yeah, I think that would be the point I would probably stress, and hopefully, Chris, you've experienced that in your own projects here in Fresno, and I hope others would agree too.
We have, and I think I want to give you a chance. You talked about the agricultural heritage. Myself, the people from our organization, Abernathy Holdings, pretty much all from North Dakota, or at least an agricultural area. And we've had several people from the company there, and we all just were like, wow, this place, number one, it's incredible. It's got a great vibe. You haven't even really touched on Clovis, which we really, really liked. And And I think we felt like it was just a bigger version of Fargo, right? Like you could sense the ag around, but it had a nice city feel as well. So let's touch on that agricultural impact coming out of Fresno County.
Yeah, so it's, Fresno County is one of the largest ag producing counties in the United States and in the world. Our region alone produces more fruit and fiber than any other place. About 25% of the nation's food is produced here with only 1% of agricultural land. So we definitely punch above our weight. In Fresno County alone, we have well over 170 unique commodities that are grown here of a variety of sizes and scope. And it has a huge effect on our economy. Every dollar that a farm produces, another $4 is generated in local and regional activity. So we have a lot of critical mass here in the agricultural sector. We're also seeing a lot of growth in terms of ag tech investments and companies that are focused on autonomous systems and robotics and IoT and AI and machine learning to benefit our growers and to be able to sustain. So it's we're very unique. We have deep heritage here. My great grandfather immigrated from the Basque Country in France and worked for Miller and Lux as a sheep herder. So some of my family members stayed in the Basque boarding houses here, just a few blocks away. So there's a lot of rich agricultural heritage. But with that, we have a very strong foundation to grow, and I think grow in ways that many other communities don't have the benefit of. This blue collar economy that has sustained us, especially during COVID-19 and during economic downturns, and having that essential infrastructure. So, yeah, it's pretty. The scale here is pretty remarkable. Um, and and I had a classmate who visited from overseas, and he was mind blown in terms of just how much agriculture exists here and the, the complex nature in which we process and produce the nation's food.
Yeah, did you say 25% of the nation's food's produced in Fresno County?
Um, the region in general, yeah. So between Fresno, Tulare, Madera counties, yeah, it's
Man,
quite remarkable.
we're pretty proud of what we're kicking out of North Dakota. That's an incredible stat. So, well, I really appreciate you doing this. We're excited to be a part of the Fresno community. I just want to give you the last word, and if people want to reach out to you, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you'd like to follow up, we would love to talk about ways that your company or your investment can make a difference here in Fresno. You can go to www.fresnoedc.com. Um, you know, what I would say is, we are truly, you know, at a very historical moment for our region. We have secured some of the largest public investments made that are landing here in Fresno and the Central Valley, from $65 million in the Department of Commerce's Build Back Better Regional Challenge. That's bringing innovation and commercialization to the agricultural sector, to our $23 million Good Jobs Challenge that's available to employers to meet their hiring needs, providing training to our job seekers to be able to access careers that are high paying and growing, to being home to the nation's first high speed rail, over 120 miles under construction today. Just a block away from me will be the first station here. We have certainly benefited from these public investments, but I think they're also creating the conditions that are right for private investment. So it's and the Skinnell Properties project is a testament to that, in addition to a lot of other things that are happening across sectors, whether it be in office or multifamily and others. So it's an exciting time to look at Fresno. We will roll out the red carpet. As I mentioned earlier, we'll work with a sense of urgency and commitment to our clients and to their projects. And it's a great place to plant a flag and raise a family. So love to follow up and have any discussions.
Will, great stuff. We're looking to break ground here before the end of the year, so we'll be up and hopefully get a chance to meet you face to face. But again, just thanks for the time and thanks for shining such a bright spotlight on Fresno County and your community.
Great. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right, share this with family and friends, colleagues. This is the Commercial Real Estate Report.